Well. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time people will be watching this. We're back again, and this is going to be a week-long special that I'll be recording every single day. And this is solely focusing on the shit show our club is in, how we need to protest to get this chairman out, and all things bad that's going on about this club, which is something I hate having to do. But the game time is over. We have this protest coming on Saturday. It's our final chance. And before we go any further, Johnny, my brother, it's good to be back with you. How are you?
I'm okay. Was up at Villa, so suffering.
There we go. So we're going to get right into this.
Tottenham on tour.
All right, so we're going to get into this. We've got quite a few sections to go through, and there are going to be rants incoming from myself and Johnny. So get ready for fireworks. And the first thing we're going to discuss is we're having a mural for Harry Kane to highlight our record goal scorer on the final home game of the season. But don't forget that special QR code for Spurs play. Now, I'm going to have a hell of a lot to say about this, but Johnny, I know you've been itching, and you were even saying, remind me to talk about Bill Nick and stuff here. So I'm going to hand over to you.
Listen, look, Harry Kane, his career is incredible, okay? And, Levy going before the Cambridge committee and, trying to appease the younger section of the fans by saying he's thinking of building a statue to Harry Kane. Well, before you build a statue to Harry Kane, you should be building a statue to the man, the one and the only, the godfather of the club, really, in my eyes and in many people's eyes, is Bill Nicholson, right? He is the man that the ethos of this club was built on. And I feel that what Levy's trying to do here with the new stadium is to almost make out like our history under Bill Nick never existed. This is the old stuff. This is the new stuff, right? This is our new stadium, Harry Kane, statue to him. We should be, the players that come to this club should be reading Bill Nick's statements and his ethos about the club, and the fans, the importance of the fans should be blown up all around the stadium. So they, Levy talks about the DNA of the club, and yet he doesn't understand what the DNA of the club actually is. I just want to read you a few of Bill Nick's comments. For some of them, a lot of the older ones, they will know a lot of these. But it's better to fail aiming high than to succeed aiming low. And we of Spurs have set our sights very high. So high, in fact, that even failure will have its echo of glory. Not with this club. We must always consider our supporters, for without them, there would be no professional football. It would be better to have more fans watching football the way they like it played, rather than have a few fans watching football that the club would like it played. There is no use being satisfied when things are done wrongly. We should want perfection. Any player coming to Spurs, whether he is a big signing or just a ground staff boy, must be dedicated to the game and to the club. He must be prepared to work at his game. He must never, ever be satisfied with the last performance. And he must most of all hate losing. Any player coming to Spurs, whether he is a big signing or not, if you don't win anything, you have had a bad season. End of, right? Intelligence does not make you a good footballer. Oxford and Cambridge, Daniel, right, would have the best sides if that were true. It's a football brain that matters, and that doesn't usually go with an academic brain. In fact, I prefer it when it doesn't. I prefer players not to be too good or clever other than things that are related, concentrate on football. Daniel, are you listening? This is the DNA. This is the DNA of the club, the man that won all our trophies. And this is what should be embedded into all our players, the managers, the history of the club, that this is taken when you walk out at Anfield and they touch the
logo,
yeah,
emblem.
That ethos of Shanks and his comments are there. They're the lifeblood of the club. They're the history of the club, and that's what's important. With the greatest respect to Harry Kane, what he's achieved is amazing. There's no doubt about that. But what about our Jimmy Greaves? What about Bill Nick? Bill Nick first. Build a frigging statue. No, he doesn't want a statue. Why? Because it needs to be sold as a multi-purpose arena. And if you stuck a picture of Bill Nick outside, it's a conflict with what he's trying to sell here.
Yep. I mean, I am gonna go in here because I'm actually gonna bring up. I mean, when I heard this, and I didn't even realize. I mean, I tweeted as soon as I saw this, and I was like, unbelievable. Why was this not done the game after he broke the record, and when we had the Harry tifo? You've waited till the last game. Nice bit of deflection. Nice bit of diversion. Not going to work. But then I read the statement. I thought, let me read into this. Fans attending Saturday's final home match of the season will see a club mural celebrating the club's all-time record goal scorer, Harry Kane, on their approach to the stadium. Few will forget his winning goal in the 1-0 victory over Manchester City on the 5th of February 2023 that saw our talismanic striker surpassed Jimmy Greaves' 53-year record and reached the coveted 267 milestone.
Jimmy who? He's not in the records.
Murals are one of the UK's leading creators of street art, and the team behind the Ledley King tribute that adorns Tottenham's Community Sports Centre began work on the mural today on Whitehall Street, directly opposite the West Atrium entrance of the stadium on the north-facing side of the Brown Eagle restaurant. Here you go. This is the best bit. The artwork will be completed in time for Saturday and will also feature a QR code that fans will be able to scan on mobile devices to view exclusive content of Spurs play. Stay tuned across club channels to keep updated with the mural's progress and exclusive content. So not only are we having this mural because it's cheaper than a statue, not only are we having this mural, it could be his last game ever at White Hart Lane in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt, but you're now defiling it and defacing it with a QR code for Spurs play to receive that exclusive content. And if you don't have a Spurs play subscription, it will say, to view this content, please subscribe at the cost of £45 a year.
Yeah, and if you're a member.
If you're exactly. So they can't even honor this man, this talismanic striker, this one that surpassed the iconic Jimmy Greaves and entered the 267 club,
without
which
a link.
Quickly bought out a range of so you can make money ready to rock and roll. This mural to honor this man is going to have a QR code for Spurs play, and Spurs play won't be here for the rest of Spurs' history. Harry Kane will be. It's just another thing from this football club. They can't even give Harry Kane this moment. They're going to have something that you can log on to and scan with your phone. I thought they were going to do it, scan your phone. A nice gesture would have been scan this code to have it in perfect wallpaper size for your phone.
No, you know what I thought? What I would have done, I mean, it makes sense. 267, picture of the thing, 267. You download a link and watch 260 Harry Kane goals.
There you go.
Is the link, okay? That is the 21st century link. No, it's the link to Spurs play. If you want to watch our games and watch us get relegated and our women get almost relegated, then tune in. But you have to pay £45. What's it actually offering the fan?
Yeah,
zero.
But this is it. Stay tuned for this. I mean, Daniel Levy, you could have done this at any time. At any time since he broke 267. But you decide that this is the day because you know what is coming your way. You really don't understand what is going on with this football club. You are so out of date. You are so away from everything. Listen to what Johnny's just said, everyone. Those quotes, listen, this is the house that Bill and Daniel destroyed. It's that simple. And those quotes, like you said, Liverpool with the iconic Anfield logo or the crest, also have a Bill Shankly statue outside the stadium.
Correct.
Manchester United live by Sir Matt Busby.
Correct.
And Alex Ferguson. Guess what? Statues. But
Correct.
here we are. Here we are. Let's have a mural. And this could be, mate, this all lines up with this could be his goodbye. It's all lining
new
up.
Stadium. It's like it's a new stadium. Therefore, I want to wipe away the history of this club, the history I grew up in. All right, away. This is our new history. Well, there is no new history. We built a stadium to take us to the next level. And what's happened? We built the stadium and we're going to another level, but not the level up here, the level down here. We're going slowly, slowly, slowly backwards.
And we're going to touch on those one subject away after this one. Now, this one has broken today. And so, Spurs membership fees have gone up by 15% for adults. So, a few months ago, there was the season ticket uproar. And because of the cost of living, Spurs are freezing the prices for season ticket holders, but not premium, like Jonny, who is now getting it raised by however many percent.
Well, mine are 3%, but many others are 6% and higher.
So there you go. So there's more money. But one Spurs members, and the thing that's really pissed me off with this, Jonny, I'll go first on this one, is people will know my home is Toronto, Canada. There are millions of one members or top. Well, I can't remember. Are they still called one membership? I can't remember what they. So that one membership around the world, the one Hotspur. There you go. Around the world for Spurs fans to get tickets. If you're part of a official fan club, you have to be a member of like Toronto Spurs, and you also have to have a one membership. So when you're coming over to London from Toronto, from South Korea, from Australia, from Israel, from Germany, from Ukraine, wherever in the world you are coming from, you have to have both. But no. This cost of living crisis that's going on, we're not going to do it to season ticket holders, but we'll do it to one members instead by 15%. So if you're going to do a season ticket freeze or you're doing a freeze because of the cost of living crisis, Spurs members are all flush with cash worldwide, every single one of them. Multi-millionaires that can afford to just go whatever the price is. This club, how pathetic is it, Jonny? Just how pathetic.
I mean, 15%, if you work out how many memberships there are worldwide, we tend to think, what they're talking about, 20, 30,000. No, we're talking about hundreds of thousands, right? Worldwide of these memberships. That's how they get into the stadium.
Millions.
Yeah, probably millions. I'm saying hundreds of thousands because I don't have the exact number. But what is the service that they are providing that would have risen by 15% in the year? I mean, there's no. Electricity. Okay, electricity when they're sat on their phone. I mean, it's a digital thing. It's on a computer. It's on a website. There's no interaction. It's just the website. The website is the website. So what? If the website's gone up, the running of the website has gone up 10% in the year, that is going to be dwarfed by this 15% times a million or how many 100,000 members.
Yep.
It's money by stealth. It's collection by stealth.
Yep. Jonny, what I'll add with this as well, which infuriates me, for the international fans especially, this 15% high script, what about the plane tickets that they charge, or not they charge, but they pay to fly over here? What about accommodation? Whether they have family here or not, they may pay for hotels, going out to eat, going out. Oh, no,
what do they charge for the What do they charge for the Canadian membership, Brian?
Well, this is the thing. We charge it. It doesn't go to the club. We charge them to become a member of Toronto Spurs. Is $25 for the year, and with that, you get 20% off everything at our Scotland Yard pub. Food, drink. Sorry, just food. Yeah. There's loads of perks, but that $25 goes back into Toronto Spurs. Nothing that we raise goes back to the club. We won't even spend at the club shop anymore because of what's going on.
Yeah.
So the money that we charge as membership fees stays within Toronto Spurs, so we can do events at the pub or whatever.
Yeah, so it goes back into what it's supposed to,
Exactly.
the supporter, just like it does for us, because all the money that, you know, we give for our season tickets and for the Spurs supporters and the one membership club all goes back into making our fans happy. You can see, I mean, I've saw so many happy fans as I was walking down the high street at the Crystal Palace game.
Oh, mate, I mean, I couldn't get there because of being ill, but I could only imagine. But yeah, so so much for global the what was it called, the global living the cost of living crisis. So much for ticket freezes. You've lied again, Daniel. You've lied again, Daniel Philip Levy, and I ain't, and others aren't letting you get away with this and getting away with things. We're going to come to an interesting section where the bad records just keep on coming. I mean, Johnny, as you know, we were speaking about before, I tweeted about a couple of days ago. We have now lost 9 away games, which is our most in a season since 2001. Funny enough, when these owners took over.
When they took over, I mean, it's 8 games since Conte left, and you know, in those 8 games, I think we've got 8 points.
Yep.
You know, we didn't like Conte's football, so they appointed Mason on the cheap. Yeah, on the cheap. And basically, it hasn't worked out. We've conceded, we've scored less goals. Everything is wrong. I mean, we've not won away since January. We've not won outside of London since
October.
I think October. It's a 9th away defeat of the season, as you say, since 2001 when they took over. 59 goals conceded so far this season. Only 2 short of our record, 61 goals.
In
and we've got 2 games left to go.
And don't forget, that's 19. We stand currently 19 goals worse off than we did the entire of last season. And remember, we're a team that play defensive football.
And not only that, when I was at Southampton, when we were 3-1 up, we were moving into 3rd place. Right? We've gone from moving into 3rd place at 3-1 up to when I left Villa Park. And after yesterday, we're now fighting 6th, 7th, 8th. And let's be honest, 8th is looking likely. We've lost our director of football due to crime. We lost our manager. We appointed Stellini, who's got a 2-year ban for match fixing. We appointed Mason, who, with greatest respect to him, you know, club man and all, not experienced enough to be running our club. Our under 21 team has just got relegated and condemns our youth to a bleak year ahead. Our women's team, our women's manager came here with a great record. She's been sacked, and we're on the brink of relegation. No director of football, and then we get this man, Mr. Mackey, who turns up from South Park, and you know.
Well, mate, you've also got to remember, today is day 50. Day 50 without a manager.
Will we break 71?
Mate, I think I'm being serious, Johnny. I think we hit 100. I think we hit 100 days. I'm not even joking here. I think there are so many managers that don't want to come because of this. I think we hit 100. I'm not joking here. What do you think? Do you think we hit 100? I think we beat 75 for sure.
I think we're going to beat 71. I think is the record, isn't it?
I think it's 75. I think it's
75. You might be right. I couldn't remember if it was 75 or 71. I think we're going to break I think we could easily break the Nuno record.
Let's check it out.
I don't want Harry Potter. His magic's gone. I don't want Sharkface. Okay. For me, I just want Arne Slot to come in. Future, you know, talent. He's just going to go for what suits him best. And if he thinks anyone really believes that we had no talks with Nagelsmann, not a chance, man. I don't believe that for 1 minute. It's about sending out a PR thing that, you know, to protect the brand, that he doesn't want it to be seen that Nagelsmann rejected us. We've distanced
72.
ourselves.
72 days
okay.
is the record.
We've distanced ourselves from Nagelsmann. My arse, we've distanced ourselves from Nagelsmann. Yeah, we should be on our frigging hands and knees going, please, right?
Yep.
No. He saw Levy's plan. There is no plan, and he is not interested.
The funniest thing I heard, Johnny, and I could not stop laughing at this, was when they said there was one of those aggregators on Twitter. I don't know, I can't remember which one, but one of the lines they heard or they printed that was said is Tottenham Hotspur have decided that Nagelsmann needs a more extended break from football before committing to his next project. And I was like, how sweet of us, how considerate. We're now offering well-being advice, and we know better than the manager, the crown jewel that was there, that would answer the attack in football, would be that young manager that could commit to a project. He needs more time, Johnny. He needs more time. Tottenham Hotspur now are a well-being counselling and advice service, as well as a concert and entertainment complex. So,
I wouldn't be surprised when Beyonce comes out, whether she's wearing a Spurs play top. Daniel sponsored her. And Beyonce can run around while they scan her code.
Maybe there's another mural just about to come out. Well, watch out for the Beyonce mural. I mean, these bad records. People have got to remember. I hate people saying that our average position was fit. No, do you know what? Someone said to me, and they actually tweeted me, and I went ballistic. And they said, Brian, what are you going on about? Under Daniel Levy in the last 10 years, we've had 10 top 10 finishes. Other clubs would pray and give their right arm for that. And I was like, have others got a 62,500 stadium? Have others said that Champions League football is the be-all and end-all for this club? Have others spent the money we have and had the history that we had? This is what I get sick and tired of, going, in the last 10 years, we've had 10 top 10 finishes. We should be very, very proud of that.
What they don't realise, Brian, is that it was Levy himself that sold the dream. Okay? Yeah. He sold the dream. We are going to build a state-of-the-art stadium that the world looks at with envy and takes us to the level that we can compete and dine at the top table of world football. Okay? Yep. Build it and they will come. And we built state-of-the-art training centre. We built a state-of-the-art hotel for them all to relax in at the Four Seasons Country Club. They built a fantastic stadium. And where are we? I don't see progression. At the moment, I see regression, where top coaches, one by one, have either been dismissed or demoralised by the state of affairs. Now, there's only so long. Look, the players are to blame. There are players in that club without doubt to blame. But ultimately, the buck stops at the man at the top. He's the man that makes the decisions and constantly gets the football decisions wrong.
You're right. And I mean, we'll move on to the next one. And this one I really need to urge about. And I've tweeted about this, and it's simply called "People in Glass Houses Shouldn't Throw Stones." Now, listen, Arsenal have bottled it. We can all laugh. It's funny. It's brilliant. They've let themselves down. But do you know what? I would rather be in their position and take Manchester City, a great Manchester City team, to a 36-game title race and fall short, rather than what we're going through right now. And listen, it's all fun and games. I get it. The banter, it's brilliant.
It's our best day of the season, but that sums up Spurs season.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
John. The best day of our season is Arsenal losing the title. It's our Spurs' best day of the season.
And this is what I'm saying. And I'm like, listen, I get that, but please, for the love of God, and I'm going to add to this, all those fans of the Brighton game and Bournemouth game and other games that were going, whoa, he's magic, you know, Maurizio Pochettino. You guys that were calling for it and demanding it, I wasn't, because I've said before, without Levy, I welcome him back. With Levy, not a chance. You guys were screaming for it. You guys were shouting for it. Have you been listened to? Has he thought, oh, listen, the fans are, like Johnny said with one of the Bill Nicholson quotes, about playing the football and what they want to see. You were demanding it. You were screaming it. Did he pick up the phone? Did he make that call to say that he was 4 years had been a complete waste of time? No, he didn't listen. He neglected and just treated you like the piece of shit on his shoe that he does all the time. So when it comes to Saturday, do not deflect from the issues at our club. Do not deflect from the fact that our house is burning. Arsenal, yes, there will be a few Arsenal chants, but do not silence out Levy out chants at this game, because we need to take matters from our own house and sort our house out before we start taking the piss out of them. Johnny, what do you reckon?
No, he's a man who talks about, I lost sight. Was it 3 years ago? I lost sight of, I apologise, you Spurs fans. I lost sight of what's important, our heritage, our DNA. It's lip service, nothing. I haven't seen any football that represents our heritage or our DNA. I haven't seen anything from the board which promotes our heritage and our DNA. And, I've had enough now. I need to see reality, some real action from the board, not these token gestures, which mean absolutely nothing. And, for the people who get angry in the stadium when people say Levy out or what have you, these are the same people that are happy booing a player, right? But yet get pissed off when everyone has their right. Football's a game of opinions. And if you don't agree with Levy out, that's your prerogative. But don't be attacking somebody else within the stadium who's saying they want ENIC out, right? They're entitled to that just as much as you're entitled to your opinion. So stop trolling everybody and spend as much time and effort in wanting your club back as opposed to attacking the people who are trying to evoke change within the club. That's all Brian wants. That's all the supporters want, to see change. If he got his checkbook out and he appointed a coach and we could finally see action and the promise of the bigger budgets and the money being spent on taking us forward, then we would be silenced. But we're not. We're giving false promises and false dawns, and it never comes to materialisation. That's it, really.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it as well. Arsenal have choked the league, but I'm just going to take you back. This is what's gone on at our club since Friday. And I'm telling you now, at point of recording, this is Monday. This is Monday, the 15th of May. So I'm talking about 4 days. Nagelsmann has rejected us. Poch is going to Chelsea. We have lost to Villa. Brighton have beaten Arsenal and gone above us. We have now had the Harry Kane mural and the QR code. Spurs membership fees have gone up. The 3 records and more that me and Johnny were talking about. That's 4 days. 4 days in this football club. That's what's happened. I mean, I could go back to when Conte was sacked and add you a load more. But that's 4 days. Oh, and 50 days without a manager. And no director of football.
Is it a Thunderbirds quote? Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Yeah, but this is it. I mean, Johnny, normally when you and me do one of these, something does happen within the next half hour.
As soon as we get off, normally something else has imploded.
Yeah, well, we'll soon see. Well, but this is it. I mean, we should not be. Listen, it's all fun and games about Arsenal. I get it. I get the banter. You've got all week. You have got all week to do it. But Saturday is all about one thing and one thing only. It is your last chance at home to do something about it. And moving on to that, it's all about this again. And I'm going to be going on so many YouTube channels this week and so many Twitter spaces and tweeting every single day non-stop regarding this upcoming protest. Now, I couldn't make it to the Crystal Palace one. I was finally too ill to come. I couldn't make it. It was my first one and I hated not being there. So as you know, I've put this banner all across Twitter and as of loads of people been retweeting. We are going to be there from 9 a.m. in the morning. We are, as in setting up the banners. You don't need to get there till 10 unless you want to get there early. And as I've said recently on YouTube channels and Twitter Spaces and all much, I'm not talking about the international fan base. The international fan base, let me use this opportunity to thank you for everything you do, because I know who you are and I know what you're doing worldwide, retweeting what you're prepared to do and what you are doing. You guys are incredible. This isn't at you. The people that do live in England, the people that don't go to the games or can't get to the game or the protest because of family reasons, work commitments, an emergency, whatever, I'm not talking to you. You do what you can do. And I know, again, loads of people reach out to me and you, Jonny, and others, and retweet everything and do what they can do. I am talking to the 62,500 people that go into the Levy Bowl, that go in there and say, oh, I don't like Levy, I'm Levy out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And there's more than the 200 that are outside the club shop, or the 50 or whatever it is we get there that day that are singing Levy out. Why aren't you with us? It doesn't matter. Listen, I understand you may want to drink. You've worked hard all week. Fine. You can't come over for 20 minutes, half an hour, and shut these bloody trolls up and shut these people up. They're going, oh, the protests get nowhere and there's so few people, and start all the crap that they talk.
Because it's easier to mock. It's easier to mock, Brian, and easier to mock than take part. If you don't want to stand outside the stadium and you don't want to take part and you feel that's not for you, then you can make your own silent protest or small protest. Wear a purple and gold until we're sold. Okay, people are wearing scarves. There are people who are just wearing the scarves. There you go. Purple and gold.
Purple and sold, I wish.
Purple and sold until we're gold. We can have that as well. Purple and gold until we're sold. That's a small protest. That's not shouting. That's not screaming. That's your protest. Just like Man United, they had their colours and their protests. Everyone does the little bit they want. I also saw at the Palace game, there were certain people who printed out Levy out or ENIC out or Save Our Club, little A4 bits of paper, and they were holding them up, right? You know, it's a little token thing. You don't have to do that. If you want to support Brian at the protest, then by all means, he'll be happy for everybody to come. But if that's too much for you, do something. But to complain about everything and do nothing, you're part of the problem almost, you know?
This is where it's got, Jonny. I mean, like I said, protesting may not be for everyone. There's some bad blood within the community, but you know what? Right now, we need to come together. It's kind of like, right, we need to come together. Regardless, a lot of us have the same want and desire and wish for the club. We need to just stand together. If you Levy out, you Levy out. I listen. If I've had bad stuff with you on Twitter, or what's it called? Bad I don't know what word I'm trying to say. Bad discussions on Twitter, or have come across rude. I'm sorry. I'm saying right now, if I've offended anyone in any way, which I make sure I don't make it personal on Twitter, I apologize. I apologize whole goddamn heartedly. We all have the same desire to get these out if you Levy out. So just please get to
this. Twitter things have just gone off.
Yeah, these are the things. It's just, this is the last home game of the season. I'm not going to go into it now. We have plans throughout the summer. You're going to be seeing a lot more of us. Just because the season's over, we ain't going anywhere. But this is the final home game. It is televised. We need to make this as toxic, as uncomfortable, and just make Daniel Levy squirm in his seats, and Donna Cullen. She don't get away from this. Joe Lewis obviously has got rid of a lot of his stuff to do with the club. This is Levy and Cullen and making their life as miserable and as uncomfortable as possible. And it's all for the greater good. I call it tough love. Enough is enough. And please, whatever you do Saturday, it's not about who came second in a 2-horse race. It ain't any of that. It's protest, protest, protest. And like I said, this is the one. Hopefully the weather will be better as well, because Jonny, as you know, the Man U one of all times, we've had good weather every time we protest, or at least not raining. Manchester United, Crystal Palace, bank holiday
It's not
weekend,
raining.
pissed down.
Look,
So,
people have got to realise here, right? This isn't about an ulterior. Brian doesn't have an ulterior motive, a self motive here. This is just about a love for the club that we all share. We all love our club, and all we want to see is direction, progress, investment, and a love reciprocated from the board, like the fans. We don't see, we see talk, but we don't see action. Okay, if the board reflected, 50% of the love the fans have for this club, we would not, I believe, be in the position that we're in now. And that's all we want. We want progression, and we want success. That's what we want. And unfortunately, whilst Levy, Daniel Levy is a fantastic success off the pitch, no one can deny that. Correct. His acumen on the football pitch and on football matters has been nothing short of disastrous, in my opinion.
There you go. You're right. And like I said, people got to realise as well, I don't just do this because of what goes on the pitch. It's the contempt he holds our fan base with, the lies, the lack of engagement, the lack of explaining where we're going and what we're doing. Just look at that Cambridge interview when he said, I really don't like it that team above the road are ahead of us, but for the last 5 years, we've been ahead of them. Well, what about the last 20 years before that, when they got to the Champions League every single year, Daniel? You forgot to mention that. So this is what it is all about. Like I said, there is going to be a week-long Tottenham on tour videos coming your way that are going to be released by us every single day. I'm going to have someone different, or maybe just me. But it's always good to start these things with my very good friend Jonny, whose Twitter handle is just down there. Jonny, point to your Twitter handle. There you go. If people watch, if people listen to Twitter Spaces, this is my dealer. This is the guy that got me hooked. So yeah, we're going to end it there. Say, Jonny, thank you very much indeed, my brother. Always
pleasure.
A pleasure.
And we'll see everybody on Saturday, no doubt. And
we pray to God.
And the people that to know will no doubt see you on the Twitter Spaces later this evening.
Oh, we're doing one this evening. Wicked! I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, comment, share, subscribe, put in your comments, follow Jonny, and as always,
subscribe.
Subscribe. Please help us. We're trying to race up on the subscribers. Please do subscribe to the channel and leave your comments for me and Jonny. And as always, Levy out.